most nervous about, and I'm taking my boys. I mean, it's only an hour away. We're going to Lansing, and I'm nervous about this game after a big win that we really needed, a bit emotional.
Don't be nervous about this game. Michigan State's horrible.
Don't be
nervous. Hey, I can say that. The players can't say that, but I'm just telling you right now, they're not losing at Michigan State.
Did you see Vanderbilt, Alabama?
Michigan State is not Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Vanderbilt would whip Michigan State also.
Yes, they would. And okay. I saw Vanderbilt, Kentucky. That's a good Vandy team this year. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that, but that's a good Vandy team. Vandy would beat Michigan State. What did Michigan State? Were they on bye this week? So they get a bye week heading into the Iowa game. So there's that, but they have just not. Aiden Childs has not proven anything to me. I've watched him, and that offense is a wreck. We'll see, but I can't imagine Iowa struggling defensively against that. I cannot imagine. I really cannot. So I hope the Iowa players aren't listening to this, but I think Iowa's going to go up there and take care of business. I don't know if it's going to be by 2 scores, 3 scores, or what. Maybe it'll be by 1 score. I just cannot. If they lose at Michigan State, it'll be a bad loss.
Okay. What I'll say is we're going into Spartan Stadium, and it's a night game. And that changes everything. I just
how many empty seats are there going to
be? To a few less because Corey's taking his family there. I thought about making the drive there, but Corey, it's like 11 hours from Ames. You're in Illinois, right? How far of a drive? You said an hour?
I'm in Clarkston, Michigan. I'm an hour. Now I've lost sense of direction.
Well, then you should absolutely be out there.
An hour east of Lansing, an hour north of Detroit.
Okay. All right. Well, never mind. You're not in. I don't know why I thought you were in Illinois, but touche. No, good decision to take the kids to East Lansing. But this is a Michigan State team I think is vulnerable. We talked about Aiden Childs earlier. He's not shown anything to me. He's shown at times, I think, lack of awareness on the football field. He's a young quarterback that didn't come with a lot of experience when he transferred over with his head coach from Oregon State. He's got good feet. His arm has been susceptible, and his decision-making hasn't always been good. I think it's a vulnerable team. I think Iowa wins by a couple of scores. I'm not making any score predictions right now, but just give us some things to watch for a NBC Peacock night game.
Well, the one warning I always like to mention, teams that are not hitting on all cylinders, that's a kind way to say it, I guess. One thing you do not want to do not give them any encouragement, because maybe they haven't shown a great effort up until now, but if you give them encouragement, then maybe you'll see a fanatical effort for the first time. So it's critical. And you've heard the analogy with a wrestler or a boxer. Don't allow your opponent to hang around and land a lucky punch in the case of a boxing match, or in the case of an unlikely fall in wrestling. You know, you have an opportunity to knock them out, then do it. You know, get the pin in wrestling, or knock them out in a prize fight. Same thing applies to football. If you have a chance to knock them out, do it, because that'll give you a chance to play more players that deserve an opportunity to play, gives you a chance to get your starters out, gives you a chance to be a little fresher with those starters for the next game. And it's great for morale, of course, when the backups do get to play.
Their last 2 games, they've gotten blown out by a combined 52 points, but they've played the 2 best teams in the conference, arguably the 2 best teams in the conference in Ohio State and Oregon. It's been a while since we've seen them against a team where they even have a chance, right, heading into the game. And you get a bye week off. What does that bye week do, knowing that they get a night game and a night crowd? Who knows how big that crowd will be against a much more beatable opponent in Iowa than certainly Ohio State or Oregon.
Well, is it hard to imagine that Michigan State, with the off week, didn't dedicate all of their time and energy to developing a game plan for Iowa? They have more time to prepare for us than we do them. That doesn't guarantee a win, of course. We had that same opportunity against Ohio State and didn't pay off. But I can certainly predict that Michigan State was working hard last week in preparation for the Iowa game, not just the upcoming practice days, but even here in the off week, they're working on a game plan to find a way to beat Iowa. We better be ready. Anything short of that is unacceptable. And frankly, it really reflects poorly on your football team if you cannot get ready each and every Saturday for the next game because there are only so many opportunities you get. You need to make them all count. Our players do have that mindset. I just hope we can put it into action right from the opening kick, right up through the end of the first half and into the second half. Don't let up until you've got them safely put away. Sooner the better.
Absolutely. And keep in mind that Tommy Schuster is the backup for Michigan State. I would not be shocked. This may be the first time Iowa they played multiple quarterbacks, right? Troy played multiple guys. Illinois State played multiple guys. But Aiden Child's numbers are really, really suspect. On the season, throwing for just 56.6%. He's got a touchdown interception ratio of 5-8. He's taken 13 sacks. Now, Tommy Schuster has thrown the ball 21 times this year. He's 16-21, 76% through the air. Better passer rating, although, again, how much of that was in garbage time? But Schuster is a guy who has experience. He was at North Dakota, and so he was brought in back in January to compete with Aiden Childs. Threw for almost, over 2,200 yards in 2023, over 2,700 yards in 22, nearly 2,500 yards in 21. Threw for almost 1,500 yards in 2020 and even played in 2019. How this guy's still in college, I don't know. But there's a guy, Don. I mean, North Dakota, that's a pretty good program right now. I can't speak to what they were throughout his tenure, but he played a lot. I'm almost surprised. I know Aiden Childs was a Jonathan Smith guy from Oregon State. I'm almost surprised Schuster hasn't played. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe the bye week we get a change. If you're going to change quarterbacks, you might do it during the bye week, right?
Let's not forget that Schuster is, a year ago or not just a year ago, but in his entire career, playing in the best FCS conference in the country. So if you're playing against South Dakota State, North Dakota State, that's very much like playing a team that might be in the Big Ten.
One more thing on Schuster before we go away from this. He was ranked 5th nationally and 2nd in the Missouri Valley Conference with completion percentage in 2023. Threw for 71%, had the 16th best passing efficiency rating in the country. I'm really surprised. I know it's different levels, Don, but I'm really surprised that young man has not gotten more snaps this season. I would not be surprised, given what I've seen from Aiden Childs, looking at the stats, if unless there's something else going on behind the scenes. But I'm guessing Schuster may play against Iowa and may play more heading into the home stretch of the season. Iowa, Michigan State next Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, NBC Peacock. You can find the game there. Could be a late night, at least for me. I'm not going to keep you up all night, Don, but 6:30 p.m. kick from East Lansing, 7:30 East Lansing time. So interesting.